greetings to everyone. Every follower of She Unleashed, we welcome you back to the second season of She Unleashed. Well, She Unleashed one was one of those stories of just putting yourself out there, thinking about something and having a wish of saying, look, I want to inspire other women. I want women to hear other people's stories and stories of authentic women from across the globe. And so it started, Mosidi, on the 1st of Jan. And I stood in front of that camera and I had no experience whatsoever. I said, I'm doing this. And it has been a story of so amazing experiences, one of which was meeting you and your voice.
Oh,
Welcome back, Mosidi, to season 2 of She Unleashed.
okay. I can feel shivers down and goosebumps. Thank you. You're one of my favorite people. Really, really. I
Oh,
love talking to
wow.
you. You
Mosidi,
inspire me.
I have, outside of the respect I have for you from corporate, as the stalwart of marketing, brand and marketing, I've grown to really, really appreciate your voice to an
Oh,
extent that at some point when I didn't hear from you, I said, hey, I miss your voice. And you came back. And when you came back, people's reaction was just amazing and saying, look, you have a way of words, you have a way of articulating, breaking down pain. And not just pain, but you are a linguist by nature. You have a way of putting things. And it's such an honor to have you back. I'm so honored to always have these chats because you leave me full. Welcome back.
I wouldn't have come back. And until a lot of people wrote to me and I was like, I'm not ready. Then I saw yours. I was like, okay, I'm coming back.
And you know what? That leads into our topic for tonight, the great recovery. Because it is exactly at that point where we've gone through collective trauma as society. And, we, all of us, are wanting to appear as if we're okay. And I think the pressure is even more for people who are in leadership positions like you, a coach. There's this assumption that you always have a framework for every emotion. And people forget that even when you put it into words, you still go through it. How was the great recovery for you? And maybe take me back to what was the period of COVID-19 for you, from professional perspective and to a personal environment?
Yeah, I'm laughing.
Yeah.
It has been a comeback, and you've touched on two things:
Mhm,
trauma,
mhm,
emotion, and COVID.
mhm,
Let me start with COVID because it led to where I am now.
mhm,
I was running what I thought was a successful business. I was consultant, had good clients, and I was making decent money. And decent for me, successful is I'm paying my bond.
yeah.
I live, I pay school fees. I've
Mhm,
got lights. I've got a home. I've got
yeah.
food.
Yeah.
The rest, I was like, I don't really, I'm not considered, but my luxury is travel.
Mhm,
Clothing, whatever, is not a luxury for me.
mhm.
So I remember when the president announced that we were going on lockdown. I was like, no, I'll be okay. It was March.
21
Then,
days. You
by
remember? You said 21 days. I
yes,
remember that so
21,
clearly.
he said 21 days. I was like, no, I'll be okay. I upgraded Microsoft Teams, Zoom, whatever. I was like, okay. 21 days became like 18 months or what? I can't remember. But by October 2020, my business was gone. It was
Mm,
literally gone. I had no business. I
mm.
was like, yo, guys, I've got no business. And at that time, I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? How people were talking about this term, what in their what was this term? They're leaving their businesses, going from one business to other, and people
The
were selling masks.
digitization. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It wasn't teachers, it was another term.
yeah.
People were moving one business framework to another. People were
Mm,
going from The events people were the worst. And a friend of mine was in events. She started selling masks. Me, I'm thinking, what am I gonna do? I don't know why. I'm so like empty inside. I don't know. I didn't know then. It's only later that I recognized that I was exhausted. I
Sure.
got to a point where I was exhausted.
Mm.
And I didn't know the term burnout.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I had burnout. I
Mm.
had serious burnout. I'd get up from bed, I'd literally take my child, since I would open the laptop for her, and then I'd come straight to bed and I'll sleep.
Mm.
So COVID was a tough time for me.
Mm.
But I was also grateful because it made me think, okay, let me rest. Maybe I need to rest. Maybe there's a something saying rest. Your body is just, I'm finished, stressed, finished. I just need to rest and recover. I thought, okay, 2021 is my year. Yay! 2021 is my year. 2021 was not my year. In fact, I was out of business 2020, 2021, 2022. For 2022, I was like, oh, let me open this coaching business. Literally, I didn't make money.
Sure.
People was just not charging. It was very hard. I was not attracting the kind of clients I want. And I'm like, yo, guys, this is tough.
Yeah.
I was attracting the kind of clients I want, but I wasn't attracting the money.
Paying, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, this is not working out because my business is now making a loss. Literally, I'm making a loss. And I'm thinking, no, I have to pay bills. I remember I phoned a friend of mine or somebody who I used to work with. Need to on savings. I had to who's top out to get this job. I got in, was paying okay. First month was okay. Second month, there's some issues, Nyana, and I'm like, I must get off the project. Not explain. Then I don't get paid. I get ghosted, but not by the friend, by the person I was working for. I get ghosted, no money. And I'm like, there's something that maybe I'm not getting here. What's going on here that I'm not understanding? I mean, I'm still living here. I still got lights, I've got water, I've got food. I'm taking my child. I just don't have income. I don't want to say LinkedIn, good guys, I'm open for work. I'm like, people are gonna laugh, but no, like I reached rock bottom. Rock bottom. I'm like, I was emotionally so broken.
Yeah.
I can't even cry. I don't want my child to see me crying. I go to bed, I'm crying. I'm like, this was me. I was a brand director.
Yeah.
I was this. I now at home, I'm unemployed. Sissy, I'm unemployed. I look at my network and I'm thinking, but I've got this network. What is going on that I can't access this network? And one or two people will phone, hi, Sissy, we're thinking of you. But there's nothing coming. And I'm going, God, what is this message you're giving me? So that's 2021. Eventually, I thought, let me start doing some courses to figure out what's going on. I've learned the secret, but why is the secret not working for me? It's like manifest your life, manifest by thinking. But the secret is not working for me. Why? Why is the secret not working for me?
Yeah.
Why is the secret? Have you ever thought, I'm like, I've read the book, I've read the principles,
and I'm practicing.
You can manifest through thoughts. I'm like, I'm practicing, I'm meditating, I'm praying, nothing. What comes back is unemployment. Imali, the savings now are going. And I'm like, it's like you are watching water going down, there's no water pouring. I'm like, I'm facing a drought. I'm so stressed. I'm like really stressed. At the same time, I'm diagnosed with diabetes, full-blown diabetes.
Oh my
And I'm
word.
like, you are not just giving me chichi, you are pouring
Mm,
everything.
mm,
I'm menopausal, I'm diabetic, I'm unemployed, I'm getting to obesity levels. I've got a 10-year-old. I'm crying myself every night, but I'm waking
mm,
up pretending I'm okay.
mm.
Until a 10-year-old, not, she wasn't 10, 8 at the time. Mama, are you okay, Mama? Why are
Oh
you so
no.
sad? Yo, Kumza, that killed me. I was like, if my child can pick up there's something wrong, then there's
Mm,
something wrong here.
mm,
That killed me. I was like, I can't do this. I can't continue like this.
mm,
I have to go on with
mm,
figuring out what's going on. I think it was at the same time that I was like, I want to be a coach. And I
mm,
started figuring out maybe there's a purpose for me to be a coach.
mm.
But the coaching didn't work. But that path to coaching led to a lot of lessons for me.
Okay.
So one of the things I realized after I had the burnout was there was so much trauma trapped in my body, but I couldn't
Mm,
understand what the trauma was.
mm,
So I started says I can manifest.
mm,
And I came across a reading that says actually the reason you're not manifesting your life is your subconscious thoughts. You don't know what you're thinking, but they're blocking you from everything that you want. And I'm like, yeah, guys, into the subconscious thoughts. So I'm curious. I started reading, digging up subconsciously. And I remember this one person says, you live most of our lives is that layer underneath, the
mm,
iceberg. They say,
mm,
it's the iceberg. So somebody was talking about subconscious thoughts, and I was like, what is this? And it was like the notion of the iceberg.
mm,
You know, on top, you see a little peak, but underneath all of it, there's so much, so much. And all you see in our lives is that little part, but underneath the trauma of it all. And I
mm,
didn't understand that actually the reason I'm not manifesting my desires is there's this iceberg underneath called
mm,
subconscious thoughts.
mm,
And they limit you or one from really going there. So let me give you an example.
mm,
When I was let go from this job I
mm,
had,
mm,
I thought I was okay. But subconsciously, my mind had formed
mm.
rocks to
Oh,
go, yeah, next time you go to work, we're going to block you.
mm,
Why? I'm protecting you from pain. I
mm,
don't want you to go there. The
mm,
pain, the pain of being humiliated, the fear of rejection. I
mm,
wasn't aware of this. I was
wow.
like, oh, but why is it I'm not manifesting? But I was making choices. I was
Mm,
making choices unconsciously. The unconscious, subconscious part of us is what drives us. And
wow.
now we think, oh, we are thinking, but you're not.
Mm,
You are you are unconsciously living. Have you
wow.
ever met people who are angry? And they are so angry. And you're like, but Lord, why angry?
Mm,
It's trauma. It's
mm,
trauma that's trapped inside and it hasn't come out. And they choose anger. They choose
mm.
angry friends. They choose angry responses. And somebody will like, I don't understand why I'm angry. I don't understand. And it's that part of the iceberg that's
Wow.
operating. It's like a silent operating system. It
Mm,
runs our lives. And we are not aware. I wasn't aware that this thing runs our life. And
mm,
I'll give you an interesting thing. We're talking about, I wasn't getting money from my business. And
mm.
when I started understanding, it was because I didn't value myself.
Oh, wow.
I didn't value. And when I started understanding everything has got to do with every belief you have. Your belief system drives your choices. That's when I thought, oh, okay. Now I get it. I'm not attracting because my belief systems are, I'm a failure, I'm not enough, I'm worthless, I'm unworthy. They attract the same thing. I'm not
Mosidi,
attracting
this is
all
really
of those.
this is confusing for me because you were talking about your trauma. And in talking about your trauma, I almost felt like you were healing because you were so good at succinctly talking about the emotions, what you went through. So this is a shock for me and like a type of a disconnect because you think when we talk, you know, when we express what we're feeling, you think that is the part of the healing. So I'm in absolute shock that there was this disconnect. So what helped you to actually move now and realize, okay, I'm working now with this trauma?
Was I think when I was reading, somebody says everything you create from within. It doesn't get created from external. It gets created from within. And I was like, okay, I've dealt with the trauma. Like now I was like, no, I'm healing. Oh, I was fooling myself. I was fooling myself. So it was then that I was reading through my coaching that they said, you know what? As adults, we're little kids in adult bodies. So I thought I'd healed my trauma. I thought that I was over the pain of being fired, of being rejected. No, I wasn't. I was not at all. And I remember having a conversation at this coaching course, and I was feeling so angry. I was crying. And this lady said, you got a little girl trapped inside of you who's crying out for something. I was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, no. And she said, have you done inner child healing? I was like, what? Inner child? Hey, I didn't understand what she was saying. She said, we trap emotions when we are young. We create stories at 2, 3 to make sense of the world. And we carry this narrative into our adult life until you go back to that time of the inception of the pain. You will always relieve that moment. You will always attract the same things you were afraid of or you ran away from as a child. So I'm like, no, I was never badly treated by my parents. My parents were nice. I was never abused. So no. It doesn't matter. Everybody has that thing called the inner child. And when you don't deal with that child, that is the subconscious part of you that will always come and rip you. Boom. It tricks you. You think you are healed. And then this little child comes, I'm not healed. And it is not going to go away. So I had to go back. And I thought, no, I'm not healed. I wasn't healed. I had to go back and heal the 3-year-old, the 9-year-old, the 13-year-old, the 15-year-old, the 18-year-old. And then I think I'm healed. And then the little things would start coming, like little, like, I'm like, I feel this thing. And then I go, oh, it's gone. And then it go, but it is like lots of layers of, lots of layers. And I wouldn't even have spoken to you 2, 3 weeks ago because I was still in a raw place. And I'm thinking now, yes, I'm ready. And I'm so like glad it's the 19th of May. Because now I can see the subconscious coming. Where are you going? Talking to Pumza, she's gonna reject you. I'm like, no, I get you now. I get you.
Wow.
And it was only when I went into my past that I started healing slowly. I had to start with the inception of the pain, go to the 9-year-old, the 3-year-old, the 9-year-old, the 13, 15, 18. And those were the ages where the 3-year-old was the inception. The 9-year-old was when it started coming alive.
Okay.
The 13 is the experience I was getting, 15, 18. So as a grown-up adult, I buried all of those things, and that the incident of the firing brought them all up. Boom. It bombed, and I didn't know that a bomb had exploded. Me, I was dealing with a symptom. I wasn't dealing with the wound. I was just on a surface level, and I would write about it. I think, no, I'm here. No, I wasn't. I was dealing with the surface, not the wound. And I had to go and clean the wound and deal with it.
So in essence, there was a gift in the COVID-19 phase, because it is the phase that made us sit and deal with ourselves and deal with the pain and deal with everything that was there. So as much as it was camouflaged in pain, in what we perceived as failure, it was actually nature saying, face yourself and deal with yourself. Is that how you feel now?
How you just said it. Me, I was running away from myself. COVID was like a mirror that forced me to take a look at the mirror. Because I was running away. I was like, me, when I didn't like to deal with pain, I would talk about the emotion, and then I'd be like, hey, let me, why am I always in pain? No, we do that. We don't want to deal with pain. And I think it's a thing we do when we're kids. Stop crying. Whereas crying is an outlet of pain. So we bury pain. We bury it in our bodies till the body is like, I can't cope anymore. So COVID was, when I look back and you ask me, it was a suffering, but a blessing. And I also learned that through pain, there's nothing but a lesson or a blessing.
Absolutely.
So when I started thinking, if it's painful, there's a lesson I need to learn. And if there's something that's not right, there's a blessing I need to learn. And so in COVID, a lot of people lost, and I'm so sorry. I nearly lost my mom. And in 2021, she was hospitalized.
Oh my word. On top of everything happening around you.
On top of everything. And I look back at that period, it was my absolute rock bottom. But like you said, as I hit rock bottom, I have hit rock bottom. And I'm laughing at myself at the rock bottom. I can't go further than this. I cannot go further than this. I'll sit here, but there's the light. I can see it. When you're reaching darkness, I was like, there's the light, I can see it. I just don't have the emotional strength right now, nor the physical strength, but I'm going there. I used to think, I'm going there. How I realized I've reached rock bottom. It's the darkest place ever. But funny enough, I could see the light.
I'm so amazed at your story, because I see a lot of me in you. Every time you touch something about you, I'm so intrigued. And I feel the She Unleashed season 2 is also talking a lot about myself and showing, the listeners, the imperfections in all of us, because sometimes affirming some things that we go through, it also helps and heals another person. So I love when you say, I look, strong. I write it down. I talk about it. And I laugh because I relate the same way. I react the same way. I cannot cry. My son's nanny at some point said, Mom, I've never seen you cry. And I was telling her, I'm going to cry and still have to stand up and face it. So I just feel it's a waste of time anyway. So she was just laughing at all of that. And I have felt the toil of doing that. That yes, you carry on. But tears are meant to be cried. It tells when you have uncried tears. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for even touching on that. So who is this Mosidi now who is emerging? Because you say, I used to be the director. I used to be the, this is the persona, the professional woman who is accomplished, who has the big jobs. And so who did you find? Because there's always a gift in the dungeon, you know?
So me, I thought my name is Mosidi, the director. I found Mosidi.
Yeah.
I didn't find Mosidi, the career woman. I didn't find Mosidi, the mother. I didn't find Mosidi, the giver, the rescuer. I did find those people, but they were not the real Mosidi. And you are right. God took away the job. God took away the money. God took away a lot of things, but made me remain in the house, made food available, made sure that my daughter was at school. Because me in my life, I didn't know who I was. I knew myself through the identity of a career and a title. And I think you know, I write about it. You are not your title. You are who you are. And a lot of us fall into the narrative of who we are by our titles or the status, the cars we drive, the suburbs we live in. But when they are taken away, who's left? Who's left behind? Who are you if they said to you tomorrow, you don't have a job, you don't have money? Who are you? And then I realized all my life, my identity was attached to career. So the bubble of career was me. But it can't be me because I never was born to be a career. I was born with a gift. I was born to express the gift. But it was not meant to be my identity. I'm a no thing. And when I say I'm a no thing, but you are nothing. No, I'm not attached to the ego's way of defining me. I'm attached to who God has given birth to and says, this is you. I've gifted you this gift and how you express it.
Wow.
I am no thing. No thing. And when I say no thing, it reads like nothing, but I am not attached to the things that are material. Yes, I love them. Yes, I love a pair of boots. Yes, I love a bag. But if it's there, it's there. If it's not there, it's not there. My child laughs at me. I don't know. I used to love changing phones. It was me. iPhone 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I stopped. Oh, 10, I don't even know. 10, I stopped. My child says, yo, the iPhone has been going like this. We went, hey, Mama, you got an old phone. Because it was so part of my identity. I must have a new phone. I must look like this. And I'm not saying that's wrong. But when I attached to the material expression and it gets taken away, that's where the pain and suffering comes. Because I've attached myself to these things, and when they're not there, who am I? And that's what you're asking. Who am I? I'm a spirit who has come to this earth with a gift that needs to be expressed, and that's how I come. We all have gifts. But we get trapped in this thing, Uti. I need to show that I'm a somebody by money, house, car, clothes, which is not right. But when it gets taken away, that's when you start figuring out, I don't know who I am. And that's painful.
And that is so powerful to say, because once you get to that level, you actually realize I don't actually miss these things, all these things I define myself with. What is important is my child being fed, a roof over our head, and the essentials being met, and you wonder where all these things came from. And I think that's the greatest gift that comes from these situations or these events. You actually realize that I am enough. I actually am resourceful, because for you, I mean, we never fathomed how you would survive without a salary for so long. But here you are, you made it. Things are paid. The child is still going to school. There is somewhere where you found the resources within you to still go on with life. And I think that's the greatest empowerment ever.
I love how you have said, I'm enough. I think for me, that was the gift that you were asking for. I'm enough. I'm worthy. I'm beautiful. That was the gift of me, is how do I show up in the world? I'm enough. And the second thing, I knew there was God, but we have this thing, but I found that the Spirit lives in us. I wake up with my heart beating. I wake up breathing. Yes, my daughter is there. But then I realized through COVID how beautiful life is. My mother said to me, and I remember, Ati Mosidi, I had to buy oxygen because now she can't breathe. She's on a machine. I can't see her because we're not allowed to go. Ati, but God gave us oxygen for free. Oxygen for free.
Sure.
And when I realized that God lives within us, because I used to think God is out there. When I said, my heart is beating, I'm breathing, my body is just producing stuff. Me, I'm not responsible for this. I thought, wow, I am a powerful creator and manifester.
Absolutely.
And that was my blessing. But you can't go through that without having gone through the dark side.
No. No, and I think before then we were invincible. We were coming into these jobs because we thought it was our doing. We thought everything had to do with what we've accomplished, how many courses or how many degrees we've accomplished, and we were in control. And it's so unfortunate, because I always say, God, there have not been another route that was much more easier than this one? Because it's so painful. And as you go through it, you still have to seek the lesson, and you are still in survival mode. You're like, oh my God, you still want to grasp at what you used to be, you know?
Yes.
You still want to grasp, you don't want to fall too far. And in the falling, to the, rock bottom is where grace finds us. Because it is at rock bottom that you have nothing else to prove. You have nothing else to show as your own doing in the coming back. And I'm so grateful for what you went through, because look at that Musidi you're going to give now as a coach, the one who has faced herself, and the Musidi who is not selling a story of you are okay. You are the true, authentic Musidi now, who's done the work, and the work is hard. No one wants to do the work, but I think when the time is right, God just goes, you have to do the work. And in the most, challenging of ways, you get pulled, you get ripped, in such an ungracious way. And it's because we hang on, we hang on to this. So tell me now, have you taken up your calling of coaching as a great comeback?
I haven't. And I'll tell you why I haven't. I went into coaching. I think it healed me more than I realized. And I was doing it. I had I have a serious flaw, which is rescuing. And I was realizing when you coach, you can't be rescuing. And I remember talking to a friend, and she's like, "You got a hook." And I was like, "I wonder what's the hook." Says, "You're always rescuing people." And I'm like, that's so true. People come to me and my cup is running empty. And I'm like, yo, I can't, but I'm there. And when I realized that, okay, I have a gift for teaching, actually, it's not coaching. I have a gift for teaching and sharing wisdom and knowledge. So that's where I got to. And
Fantastic.
yeah, that's my gift. But how I express it, I haven't figured that out. Because I realize another thing, and I don't know if you know. You know, we're in a hurry. And I said that today. My God, when am I going to work now? Wait, it's my time. God's timing is not ours. It's not the mind's. And I realize now that I just have to be patient. And because I've seen the unfolding of you are kubula. You are literally naked at rock bottom, and you are taken off the clothes, the hair, everything. Everything is taken off. Now, the second coming back, you are being robed. But you can't choose the robes because the mighty king is going to say to you, okay, you're ready now to choose the robes and to get the robes. So I've had to be patient because now I've come from defining myself as a coach and a director. Now I'm Mosidi. How I express it is through my gift. So it's been an interesting thing to me on LinkedIn. Okay, what must I write as a title? And I found it so difficult because I don't define myself now by my career. It's been an interesting thing. So I quickly wrote the thing, and I could feel it's an uncomfortable thing for me now, but I still have to operate at that level. So I recognize there's a teacher and a coach, but not the rescue one. There's somebody with knowledge and wisdom who needs to share it. How I express it, I have no clue. And yes, there's an impatient me go, yeah, no, the bargaining.
Siyaguga ngoNkulunkulu.
And I hear this voice saying, be patient, be patient, because there's some things I still have to learn. I can feel it. The rescuer, the impatient me, there's some parts of me I still have to make peace with.
Yeah.
They still need the wound to be properly done. It's not like a lot, but I can see. And I hear that for me now. I hear it.
Oh, that is so powerful. And I think that is part of the reasons that I selected. I said, when I come back, I want this lady because this lady, when people came back from COVID and they were hip and happening, they were here and they were finding their purposes and they knew what they were running. You kept it real. You kept on stating exactly who you are. And you were not pretentious. You were not trying to be something that you're not. And you were not, this Mosidi I saw now was different because you did not have a fear of missing out. You were like, hey, if you are ready, by all means, go ahead. And you tended to your wounds as much as you don't think that it became clear, even in your writing. It was there. And I felt it. I said, this is the one I want. I don't want anyone who's going to pretend as if they were ready to come back when we came out of COVID and lockdown, and they were all hip and happening and ready to make it happen because we came out with also more wounds from COVID. Some of us, yeah, some of us have had to go back to the older wounds, but the process also, it also brought out a lot. I mean, we struggling with recovery. I mean, we all thought we'd come back and then things would be happening. the economic, performance of the country and everything else would be going well. And it's been far from that. It's been really, that struggle. I'm so grateful that you put into words that, look, it's also human to not be ready for the great comeback. What do you want to say about that, Mosidi?
Put ourselves, so let me talk about some of us are having an economic meltdown, but the electricians are having an amazing time. So for me, as the country is going through the darkness, I wonder what God has in store for us.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, we've been talking about renewables. We talked about this thing. We have in South Africa a most beautiful weather that people envy us. Yes, it's painful for load shedding. Yes, it's painful. But I look, during COVID, the doctors and the mask manufacturers were making money. They were good. Workers, the electricians, the solar people. I think that we never must underestimate dark times. For me, I believe that the greatest comeback is not an end journey that says, I've come back. It's not a stop. It's an ongoing evolution of life. I can't say I've reached the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro, but I'm still learning. And for me, it's not reaching an end point. It's about continually striving, continually learning, continually gaining more and more and more and more and more. And for me, a comeback is not a destination. It's a journey. It's like ongoing. Because if you go there and you stop opening yourself up for possibilities. And so for me, a comeback is I'm opening up. I'm open like a flower. I'm budding. And I'm like, I've got capacity so much more because I'm no longer living a box. I'm living possibility. I'm living like I'm no longer going to limit myself. I'm like, wow, that's so amazing. Okay, I can move and move and move. And I never want to stop myself from learning. And so for me, a comeback is not a destination. It's an ongoing expansion. You expand, you feel who size 6, you go to size 7. You don't go, I've reached size 8 and I've come back. No, I want to go to size 30. Now I want to be like, yes, I'm learning, I'm pushing, I don't want to be stopping. I want to be like, when I'm 95 and talking to my great-grandkids, I'm like, girls, boys, life is about expansion. It's about continuously learning.
But was it always there? Because you said there's a point where, and I related completely, the time where you like felt, oh my God, I'm gaining weight. I'm hitting menopause. I'm doing this because it almost felt like that for me at some point where everything was like, it was like dim. It was like, okay. And you psych yourself after every day to say, look, I need to condition myself to carry on. And it's exactly that point where you are so exhausted, but you don't realize, right? And you keep on wanting to keep, but there's no energy. There's absolutely nothing. So at which point did this zest now for life appear for the great comeback?
It started, Anita, with the wounds.
Yeah.
And it was unfolding. So I had to let go of, I had to tender to the wounds and the pain and deal and face it because I didn't want to face it like you, I don't want to cry. And I was forced to face it.
Yeah.
And once I faced the demons, hey, I looked them in the eye. You are never gonna beat me, Shem.
Yes,
I'm like Mosidi Seretlo. I'm the child of a. What I said, I'm a child of a king.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm the child of a king. I'm never gonna be defeated by the demon.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm never gonna be defeated. I got strong. The
Yes.
stronger I got, that's why I said I was expanding. The more I learned, I was like, I will never be beaten. I will never, ever be beaten by the demon. And that's where I thought, I'm getting better. And when I started getting better, I felt my body getting better. I never went back to the thinner version of myself. I've had to accept it. I've had to accept. My daughter says, "Oh, Mama, your tummy jiggles." I'm like, "God, it jiggles." Mama, your arms jiggle. They jiggle.
Yeah.
I've had to accept that. I'm no longer a 25-year-old with a stick thin body. I'm a mom. I've given birth. I've got stretch marks. I look at my friends from varsity now. We've gained weight. I've seen very few who kept that shape.
Yeah, yeah.
I've had to accept it. Like I'd love to be like a model and be. Then I'm thinking, I'll be eating lettuce. I know. So it's a
There's
choice,
more to life, eh, than lettuce.
I had to get comfortable with the body I have now. But I think what I did not want is a dead end beat mom who's always tired. So I started going to gym again, and I started sleeping early, and I started finding ways. Okay, I've got issues like sleep apnea, which I didn't know. Menopause brings so many things. There's so many things you have to figure out. The sleep, insomnia. That's why we're tired. So I've had to get real with sleep. Sleep is important. I've had to get real with water. My water, it's like I drink water. I've had to get real. Look at it. Muscles are stiff. I have to walk. I have to move them. I've had to get real with stress. It just doesn't help. So I've had to figure out that there are things that I will never have. I won't go to a size 32 that I was, but I'm comfortable at a 40, 42 that I am. Or if I've gone to a 48, yes, but watch out for the sleep, the water, the muscles, the heart, the blood pressure. Take care of those things. The rest, if you are not looking like your 24-year-old self, make peace with it. But just make sure you're sleeping well. Just make sure you are doing the things at a minimum that are going to help you sleep better, move better. So that's why I feel like I've got more energy. Oh, sorry, and I do have naps. Yo, guys, I've gone back to the baby stage. I have to have that power nap, that 30 to 40 minutes. I used to think it's laziness, but it's not. So I've had to go, okay, I wake up at 6, I'm energetic. Then at 1, 2, I crash. I have to sleep. I have to get that 30-minute sleep, because if I don't, I've crashed the whole day.
Wow.
So that's why my energy is like, I had my 30 minutes today.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what is your daughter seeing now? Because you said at some point she asked, Mommy, are you happy? Is she seeing a different Mosidi now when she's dealing with you?
She no longer asks me. She used to go, are you sad? Are you sad? It used to be a daily occurrence for 2 years. And then, are you okay, Mama? Are you okay? Are you okay? I haven't had, she would scream, Mama! And I'd hear her. I haven't had that word in the last 6 months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And she's got a sensitive spirit. She would be looking at me like this. And I know she's trying to sense, is Mama okay? And I fought for her, because trauma runs in families. I do not want my child to have that thing that I had. I don't. And I pray to God that she doesn't go through that rock bottom. And if she does hit that rock bottom, it's a little bit of a softer landing. I pray. But I see her now. there was a distance between her and I at some stage.
Mm,
Now, maybe we're not 100% back to our 100% level,
mm,
but our relationship is much more different. I'm much more understanding of her. I'm
mhm,
much more respectful of her own space. She understands Mama has got her moments of wanting to have time out. So I've
mm,
explained to her,
mm,
oh, that's another thing I have learned about rock bottom. I have had to open up to her because I used to hide.
mm,
She's a child, she won't understand.
mm,
But
mm,
now I use child language. No,
mm.
not child language that we should all be using,
Yeah,
but for
yeah.
her
Mm,
to explain, Mama's not doing well now. Her energy is low.
mm,
Why she did well? These are the things she's going through. And so I've had to force myself, it's forced me to open up to her and
mm,
become that person who's more open rather than
mm,
the closed person I used to be.
mm. That is so amazing. And I think you've hit the nail on the coffin. And you've given us a lot more, Mosidi, than we expected, because you really have given us, the deeper aspects of yourself, which are really, I think it's who you are. You I don't know what your values are, but I think transparency is one of your things. Openness is one of your things. And it's what a lot of your followers respect you for. And I think we all said it when you came back. Everyone was like, "Wow, she's back," and you started, and you're like, "Okay, this is what we were missing." Everyone was like, "Wow, I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you showed courage to say that because." You are the one who voices things that people are actually scared or wouldn't dare put out there. And it's so strange that the wound is I am not enough. Whereas just that gesture is a powerful and courageous gesture that says, if you judge me by that, it's okay. Me, I've put it out there and it's okay, and my life goes on. You see, and I think that's maybe what this phase of your life is about. It's about the courage, it's about also strengthening the courage in everyone. I never used to talk about my also exit from a corporate organization in a similar way until you put a voice out there. And I'm like, wow, you go, girl. You go, girl, because when these things happen, I don't think necessarily you shy away, but you don't necessarily put it out there. And yet there's
Yeah,
power in putting out there because you release a lot of people who are going through it, you see. So
yeah.
if you have to leave me with three things, Mr. You've given me a lot already. And you've given me tips of how to deal with myself as well. Premenopause. So
Oh,
you've given me also finding myself, who's this person after you've gone into the wound, you've gone deeper and tended to the wound, also giving yourself time for the comeback. You don't have to come back with a bang. If it's not time, it's not time. Listen and allow the process to unfold and be patient with yourself. What are the three things that you want to leave a girl who is going through similar, who's about to go through the same journey, who is also going to have the courage to go through the wound?
I think you said it. Have the courage. We tend to live in three pieces. Our minds are the bosses of us. The
Mm,
mind is not the boss of us. So I want to tell you, you will go through everybody. Elon Musk, Bill Gates, everybody goes through tough times. So people go, they've got money. No, emotional trauma goes through everybody, and
mm,
other people will not deal with it. If the invitation is there, it's God saying, my child, come back home. It's
mm,
an open invitation. Now, it doesn't come with, it's going to be easy. It
mm,
will be turbulent because the mind wants to be the boss.
mm,
But when the invitation comes, understand it's turbulent for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Second, what I want to say is vulnerability at that stage is me that I wasn't vulnerable. I wasn't vulnerable enough. Surround yourself because you know what God has opened and said, child, come back home. It's going to be a rough road. I would leave you with this. Have somebody to hold you. Not the flighty people who you hang around with. You person who has your interested heart and knows, now when I go through this, I'll be there. Me, I didn't. I hid and I hid to myself and I kept to myself. I happened, I hibernated. Butterflies go into cocoon. So either have somebody, but understand every animal goes to this. Trees lose their leaves. Butterflies cocoon. You're cocooning. So have somebody either by your side. Make sure you're not alone because you can think you're going crazy. The third thing I think for me is never run away from your pain. It's a message. It's a message to go, I want you to listen to me. I need you to listen to me because I'm in pain. Do not run away from it. Listen and embrace it, no matter how hard it is. Just listen. I mean, I think you said all the things, so I'm struggling to go, okay, what else? But those are the things for me. You are going to cocoon. Take the invitation from God, and pain is just a message to go, this is something for me to heal.
Oh, wonderful. Mosidi, we're going to invite you back. I keep on promising to invite you back, and I have invited you back because the wealth of wisdom that you have and you're willing to open up and share is amazing. Yeah. And it gives credence to there is a reason for our journeys. There is a reason for our journeys. And we must never look down on our journeys, because sometimes it's so easy to go into victimhood and think, oh my God, I went through this. And it's so strange that you actually find out that it's just human nature. Many people have gone through what we've gone through, and we actually are the empowered kind of generation that actually talks about it. Because
yeah,
I mean, past generations would never talk about it. You'd never hear the truth about it. But there's so much healing and healing of other women in talking about it. My sister, I so appreciate you. I love you from the bottom of my heart. And thanks for the courage to do the work and come back. Thank you so much. And all my love and blessings. We will
thank you,
see you.
Pumza. You too.
We will see you in the next recording. You have to come back and tell us what has happened.
I will. I know God has more blessings for me. So me now I'm coming back.
Absolutely. Take care. When you hear, you've heard a treat, She Unleashed listeners. And this is what we love, the authenticity of the stories, the depth of the stories, the depth of the experiences. We're not looking for someone who's going to fluff over things and look all perfect. This is what we need, the rawness, because the rawness does the healing for all of us. You've heard it from Mosidi. Yeah. Please do follow her. She does post literally every day and powerful quotes that are well thought on LinkedIn, and you can follow her work. We wait to see where she lands next, with God being the wind beneath her wings. Oh,
This book